Well, hey everybody, Tim W. Rago here, games, movies, and vlogs. How the hell is everybody? This is just a little something, before this, video starts. Now, you guys all remember last year, last month, you guys remember last month on the movie haul where I showed off everywhere that I went, and the video ended up being like an hour and 35 minutes long, which is like movie length. Well, this time I'm not going to do that because I need to get this video uploaded, and also I'm going to try to make it less boring, because I'm pretty sure on the last video you guys have probably skipped to the very end. Okay, if you hear that dinging in the background, that's the washing machine, sorry. But you guys have probably skipped to like the very end, to where I actually show off the movies and figures that I got. So that's all I'm gonna do this time. I'm just gonna have that bit where I show off the movies and figures I got. So yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that this is something different. On the first of this month, I went to like a whole bunch of places. I went to like 3 Walmarts because there was a kaiju figure that I was looking for, but I'm not going to say what it is until I actually get it, because I know one of these days I'm going to get it. But I did that. I went to like 2 Targets, a Family Dollar, Zia's, and and then I stopped up at Brad's to see if I can find something, and I did, but next time. I'm not going to say what I almost got at Brad's Collectibles, but next time I will. So yeah, I did all of that, and then at one point I got lost. For those of you who are subscribed to me, who happen to live here in Las Vegas, Nevada, I ended up getting lost at one point. That night, or that day, I ended up on Horizon Ridge in Gibson, which is all the way by friggin' Black Mountain. So for those of you who live here in the Vegas Valley, at least, you guys know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who don't, it is hella far. It's way out of the way. So yeah, just enjoy the video. Enjoy the rest of it anyway here. So I just thought I'd change it up and make it, just a little less boring, probably, than my other one was. So next month it will be done a little differently also, in April. So yeah, enjoy the video, everybody. Okay, it is March 2nd, 2022 here at 7:18 a.m. And what do you call, so I'm not gonna have enough time to to talk about everything that I got, before I gotta go to work here, so I'm gonna, split this reveal into two parts here, like 2 parts today. The first is going to be a triple unboxing of the 3 figures that I got yesterday, and then after I get home from work today, then I will reveal what movies I got. All right, so let's get this triple unboxing started, shall we? So as you can see, I got the scissors out. Now the first one that we are going to do is, now remember yesterday when I was at the, you saw I was at the Target way out in Henderson. I said there is a monster that I was going to give a little more recognition to. Well, here we go. It's King Kong here. Now I know. It's like, I am a Kong fan, but the only figure that I actually have of anything like Kong related really is just the Skullcrawler here. I mean, I know it's the Skullcrawler from Godzilla vs. Kong. Well, yeah, you see what I mean? So like, that's the only Kong related thing that I have figure wise. I mean, I have all the movies, I have like the comic books of Kong in the Monsterverse, but I've never had any like actual figures of Kong here, so let's see what this figure looks like, shall we? Okay, so I guess that's what it looks like, and it looks like it comes with okay, so just looking at this box here, there's, oh wow, you can change his head. I think I'm gonna put the more angrier looking head on because the figure has this weird goofy smile, so that's a bit odd. And then you can put the shackles on his hands, and I think in the back there are the interchangeable hands, because if you notice, he's got the fist hands up. And looking at it, this is actually really cool because this is the King Kong from 1933, which is awesome. That is King Kong 1933 is the first ever giant monster movie, so it's really cool that they made a NECA figure of this version of him. This is really cool. And now let's get him out of the box. Question, how do we get him out of the box? Just a little bit, here we go. Okay, so, alright. Okay, oh, it goes this way, I believe. Okay. Oh, Jesus. It's like, I got the right... Oh, okay. Okay, so now, let's... look how, you see how easy this is to snap to cut off, like... See, why can't... Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, look at that. Apparently, look at this. So apparently whoever did this side didn't do a good job, or didn't do it all the way, because look at that. I didn't even cut that. It was already cut. Wow. Okay. Is there something else holding him? Like... Oh, is there something else holding him in this box here? Wait, what? Okay, look at, wow. Wow, they are like really secure about their packaging here. Look at this. Okay. I honestly got to, wow, they really were making sure to package this thing up. Oh, look at that. I just now noticed this. Oh, that is cool. Look at that. Look at this. It comes with a little biplane in here. With two little people in it. With the machine gun. That's attention to detail right there. And in all honesty, this biplane this biplane here, this looks way better than the little Argo that came with the Monsterverse Ghidorah and Rodan figures. That is some serious attention to detail. And then here are the interchangeable hands, and oh, I get it. So they got like complete fist. His hands, look, they got complete fist, and then you've got open hands here, and then you've got like partially open hands. Okay. So that's okay. And if you look, and then if you notice, they got another wire in the back here. Let's try to cut that off. Oh shit. Okay, that just went fine. And Kong just like flying out. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to change his head in his hands for this because, oh wow, there's even a little wire holding his other head. Okay, so for only thing, how to change his head. This is very oh wow, that is actually really cool. Okay, so oh look, I just executed King Kong. I'm just playing. That was dark. I'm sorry. That was dark. That was way too dark. I apologize. Jesus Christ. Wow. This is a bit crazy. Wow. Wow, this is crazy. I mean, okay, was it a good idea for me to even decide to change the head while doing this unboxing? Because okay, you know what? I wanted to put the angrier head on because it looks cooler, but sadly I'm not doing that. And I just found out something. Look at this. On the other head, the bottom, the mouth opens and closes. So that is actually really cool. Let's get the hands and stuff. Let's get the hands and stuff out of here. If I can even get it out of here. This is like I gotta give them props, you know, for the packaging on this thing is super secure. So it's like it can't get damaged any by means. All the planes. Oh, there's, okay, so I got the plane out. Okay. Wow. Look at that. That's insanely cool. Look at this. Oh my god, that's insane. It's even got like the little, that's crafty. That is super good detail right there. And I love how like the propeller in the front here, it's like frozen in motion where it's just like a big blur. Okay, that's cool. But I wonder if this is the plane that Peter Jackson and Rick Baker were in. I wonder if this is like, if this little thing was inspired by that. And for those of you who don't know, for some odd reason. Peter Jackson was the director of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies, or I just call it the Middle-earth franchise. And also, he did the remake of King Kong 2005, because he has been wanting to make a King Kong movie since the friggin' 90s. He tried to make one in the 90s, and it was going to be one of the best King Kong movies ever made, but sadly, Universal pulled the damn plug on that movie because Disney was coming out with Mighty Joe Young, and Godzilla 1998 came out, so Universal pulled the plug on that project. But it just sucks though, because they should have just went ahead and made the movie anyway. You know, like seriously, it could have been. I don't know why why Hollywood pulls the plug when other movie studios are doing, like, other movies involving, like, a giant ape or a giant monster or some shit like that. Like, they should have just went ahead and made the damn movie. You know what I mean? Like, that's so, like, pussy of them to do that. Like, seriously. But anyways, as I was saying, and the other dude that I mentioned, Rick Baker, he's one of the most talented practical effects makeup artists I've ever seen. Like, he did the aliens for the Men in Black movies. Well, the first three. I don't talk about international because I'm not a fan of that movie. Rick Baker did the aliens for the alien makeup, and I think the suits for the first three Men in Black movies. And also, he worked on Mighty Joe Young 1998. And also, he did King Kong 1976. I think he played King Kong in that suit. I think. I'm not entirely sure. But, apparently, he makes a cameo in King Kong 2005 during the airplane Empire State Building scene, which I never knew for the longest time until, like, literally last year. So I wonder if this is, like, inspired by that plane that Peter Jackson and Rick Baker were in, or did they even share the same plane? I've got no idea, but this like I said, this looks way better than the tiny little Argo that came with these two. Or hell, even the Heave here that came with, or even the Heave, or Hollow Earth aerial vehicle that came with the Skullcrawler. Like, seriously. Okay, so enough about that. Let's talk about, and I know I said I was going to change the hands, but I don't want to take that chance now because you guys saw how much the head was a pain in the ass. So I don't want to take a risk in doing hands here. So yeah. Alright, so now let's talk about this. Detail-wise, the figure's great. It's so crazy how this figure, and it's not even the MonsterVerse Kong even, the detailing on this is way, way better than the Godzilla vs. Kong figures that you see at Walmart. And I bought this at Target. I think this was the Target way out in Henderson. Yeah, this was the Target way out in Henderson I bought this at, I believe. I believe so anyways. But yeah, the MonsterVerse Kong figures you see at Walmart, like, the detailing on them is like equivalent to the Skullcrawler here, but NECA is, I guess, like, so much better. I guess, see, why can't they do the MonsterVerse Kong? Like, seriously, why can't NECA ever do the MonsterVerse Kong? I think they have. Sorry, I apologize. Let me say that again. I think they have done that figure. I believe they have. But, detail-wise, it looks great. And there's, like, scars on the chest here. You could probably see that in the daylight here. 1933 Kong did not have scars on his chest, so that's a little odd here. And then he's got, like, injuries on his head or around his face here, so that's actually very interesting. But yeah, the detailing on here is great. Range of motion, you've got Yeah, but range of motion, there's his legs move in, well, his feet move, or, hold on a sec here. Okay, so range of motion, looks like his knees move, so that, well, it's a little stiff, I guess, because I just opened the box. Wow, look at that. His lower leg moves, and his upper leg moves, so that's actually cool. And also, it looks like his, oh, and his feet move too. Look at this. His feet move, so that's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna put his legs in a more monster-y position here. Wow, this thing is so stiff because I just took it out of the box. Okay. Sorry about that. Hands. Okay, the hand movement. Okay, the hand movement is really good, and then also his lower arm moves, and it looks like his upper arm moves too, which, like, the elbows move too, I guess. Well, I don't know why they have that there if that part doesn't even look like it friggin' moves. But you got this movement here, and then also there's the torso movement, and then you got his head. I'm gonna spin his head around because it's funny, and then the mouth opens on this head head here. Huh. Okay. Well, in all straight up honesty, this figure gets a solid King Kong 1933 NECA figure. This figure gets a solid like 10 out of 10. Because it has a really amazing range of movement. The detail on it is amazing. The detail on this figure just absolutely amazing. Range of movement pretty good actually. Really good amount of range of movement. It's not like it's close to SH Monster Arts because this thing has so much movement, man. I just can't believe this. And a little come with figure here, really well detailed. In all honesty, really good. So my first figure in the triple unboxing, definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely 10 out of 10 here. All right. So do I recommend this to anybody who does not have this? Yeah, go to Target and get it. This is $32, so yeah, definitely going to get this figure. Okay, now look at, I got Kong. He's just chilling. He's just sitting there. Look, literally sitting there. Okay, so the next figure that we're gonna tackle is another iconic movie monster. I hope you guys didn't see it when I was doing Kong, because it's down here under my desk. Now, everybody knows this famous creature that I'm about to reveal here. Everyone knows it. You all know it. You love it. It's aliens! But what's so weird, look at this thing, Chrysalis alien. Look at this ugly little bastard. Look at him. Now, what I just find so weird is, it's like everyone knows what a xenomorph looks like. Everybody knows who is a die-hard fan of not only horror movies or alien and predator movies, but just like movies all in general. Like, everybody knows what a xenomorph looks like. And I love how it's like you got like aliens like from the second movie here. But I just love how these figures that I keep on seeing pop up everywhere, they always give like different types of aliens. Like, was this inspired by the video game Aliens Colonial Marines? Because in that game, there's I'm gonna be making a playlist if you guys ever want to see me go play through that game. It's a really fun first-person shooter game, and it gets you right into the universe of Alien. So, yeah, when in that game there were like, shit, man, like I think 6 different types of xenomorph in that game. So Yeah, I guess these figures are heavily inspired by that, and this is called the chrysalis alien. There was one alien, there was another alien breed. I don't know why they keep doing this, but it's like there's an alien breed called the razor claw alien, and I was deciding whether to get the chrysalis alien or the razor claw. Now the razor claw had like big ass like little mini Therizinosaurus claws on it, and the color scheme was had some purple going on. But I picked this one because it looked very dinosaurish. Like the razor claw alien looked like something out of a video game. But this looked it looked very dinosaurish. So that's why I chose this one. So yeah, let's get this thing out of the box. Sorry, I've been wanting to talk about this one for a while actually. And oh god, am I seeing this right? Look at this. Apparently, this figure is supposed to do this when you lift up that. When you lift the top of the head up, there's this ugly skull-looking thing. Oh shit. Which is very weird because of the fact that aliens are not supposed to have eyes. So this thing is very creative. So this thing is actually a very creative take on the xenomorph. So let's what do you call? And I got this at Target too. Like all of these, I got at Target because because Walmart, I don't know what it is. Like Walmart is like 50-50 anymore when it comes to figures. Like they'll have good ones, and that's like very few and far between. So they're not very. I guess they're not like they used to have good shit, but now it's like some of the stuff that they have looks very cartoony. Like they don't have as much detail as I think they should really. And this is all. Everything I'm saying is just my opinion, really. You can disagree with me if you want to, but it's just all my opinion, really. Okay, so got his arm out, got his tail. Wow, his tail is literally sealed in like 3 places. Wow. Okay, so his tail's free. Now let's get his. I'm actually gonna do it on his neck because it feels more monster movie-ish that way. Oh, and then there's his feet. You always do the feet last. When unshackling a monster, you always got to do the feet last. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy, shall we? Oh, that is so okay. Already, that's a big plus right here. The tail, as you can see, is very posable. Has a very posable tail, so that's cool. I love figures that you can do this with. The tail is very posable. Wow, and the detailing on this thing is super cool. Actually, I think this has more detail than Kong, to be honest with you. This has more detail on it than Kong does. Wow. See what I mean by the dinosaurish kind of look? Do his legs move? Oh yeah, his legs definitely move. Wow, look at this. Here we go. Look at this. Okay, so let's see if this side of the box holds true here because oh wow. Okay, that's cool. Like the mouth opens and I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can see the second mouth. You can see the second mouth in there, which is really cool because the second mouth is always a xenomorph like trademark, you know, it shoots the second mouth out and kills you. But I'm trying to find out the thing behind what it says on the side of the box here, like that this thing can. There's a skull that comes out when you lift lift this part of the head up. I don't see anywhere to possibly do that with. And of course, like with I think this is a NECA. I think NECA did make this. I think this is a NECA figure. So, okay. But, okay, so as you can see, I can't find where to... Okay, the head doesn't move that much, which is a bit... Okay, oh, the head does move some. Not a bunch, but it does have some... It does have some movement to it. Okay, so as you can see, I'm trying to figure this head situation out here. Oh God, I think. Oh shit, I think I figured. Wow, I think I figured this thing out here. It was just really stiff and. You guys are seeing this, right? Oh my God. Oh my God, you are one ugly mother. Damn. This ugly skull looking shit going on here. Wow. I wonder if the makers of this figure watched Alien Resurrection while making this, cause in Alien Resurrection, there's this new alien monster that it's like supposed to be a human xenomorph hybrid looking thing, and its face does look like this. It has a very skullish kind of face. But so I figured that part out here, but also, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I don't know if y'all are seeing this here, but the neck, oh my God, did that just come out? Holy shit, the head and neck just, wow. See, why can't this thing be in a movie? Why in the hell can't this thing be in a movie? This thing so deserves to be in an Alien, like Alien 5 New Breed or some shit like that. Wow. Oh my God, that is cool. That is seriously cool. The fact that you can lift up the headpiece here, even though it's really stiff to do so. Wow, that's... Okay, this thing deserves to be in a friggin' Alien movie. Just look at that. That thing is creepy. Imagine this thing, like, just shooting its neck out to try to eat somebody, and then it shoots its neck out, and then it shoots the second mouth out. Oh my God. See, this thing needs to be in a movie. Hollywood, y'all need to really, like, you guys really need to stop shoving reality up our asses and actually make this alien creature, and make the chrysalis alien into a movie. I swear. And I love how, like, the top of the head looks kind of, Alien Queen-ish. Like, somewhat. Looks very Alien Queen, sort of. Looks like the Xenomorph Queen. But seriously, though, Hollywood, you guys need to, like, stop shoving reality up our asses and just do this. Just make this thing into a movie. I swear to God, that would be a great-ass movie. Like, I can see this thing being, like, 15, 20 feet tall, probably. Like the ultimate Xenomorph. And if you notice, like, Xenomorphs' bodies are usually, like, super thin, but this thing does not look... I mean, the legs are thin, true, but the arms and the upper half are not thin. And the head's not thin either, like, Jesus. Oh my God. Wow. This is a seriously cool... This is cool. This is another... This also gets a 10 out of 10 for me. This gets a solid 10 out of 10, like... Because not only is it super detailed, but there's, like... pulling the head out and the neck comes out too. That is awesome. Oh look, and then it can just put this back whenever it wants. Oh wow. Yeah, see, the chrysalis alien figure, if you haven't bought this from Target, definitely go get it, because that is awesome. That is really cool. Like, this thing deserves a movie. Now, range of movement wise, okay, so the knees move, of course, and that's an interesting little detail. Like, look at that. The toes move, and so do the feet. Wow, it's like NECA. Is this made by NECA? It is. So It's like NECA is like trying to be SH Monster Arts. Like it's really trying to be SH Monster Arts with the amount of movement range, because look at this. Like this part of the arms move. This part of the arms move. The hands. Oh my god, look at that. Even the two long fingers move. It's like they're trying so hard to be SH Monster Arts. I don't know if it's the same company or not, to be honest with you. But it's trying so hard to be like SH Monster Arts here, because like the amount of movement that they have. I think, yeah, this thing has more movement than the Kong figure. So, amount of movement, great. Abilities, just freaky, but that's what makes it awesome. And range of movement has a lot, like the little details with the fingers moving, the toes moving, the tail being posable and very bendy. What's so crazy is, like, if you're trying to be like it's already trying to be like SH Monster Arts, so why can't it be, so why can't they just make the tail look like this, where it's like you have all these little sections right here, and you can just like move the tail like move the tail like this. So I mean, I love the posable tail, but it's already trying to, like I said, it's already trying to be SH Monster Arts, so why can't they just make it, you know, make the tail like that? So, Chrysalis Alien, I definitely recommend buying this. I did not expect it to be that good. I mean, I knew the detail was great, but I didn't expect it to be that good when I got it from Target, so yeah, I would definitely recommend getting this one as well here. And okay, so I have one more figure to talk about here. And like I said, I'm going to talk about just the figures right now. And then when I get home from work today, then I'll talk about the movies that I got, because once again, like February, I got a bunch. So yeah, I'm just gonna... Hey, well, had a little bit of a technical mess up here. The unboxing that I had for this, I mean, and this happened last month, if you guys remember. When I showed off the Lost World Tiger Stripe Raptor figure, for some reason I had some serious technical difficulty with my camera, and my camera froze. The camera it froze, and then I had to wait for it to like cool off. And the footage of me unboxing just unboxing the Indoraptor and doing my review of it is gone. So I got to do it like this again, which is really stupid. I don't know why, but as I said, okay, so when it comes to this figure here, if you look. Now I do love the range of movement that this thing has. Like, if you notice the hands move, then you got like the movement here, and then of course you got like the shoulder movement, and it's crazy that the shoulder can come out this way. And then in the legs you have, of course, your basic hip movement here, and then you've got like the knee movement, and then you got like the ankle, and that goes on with both. Let me put it in like the classic dinosaur pose right here. Look at that, this like classic dinosaur pose with its arms out. And then you got the tail that moves in two places here, which is really cool. But there are cons that I do have with this figure. Number one being the quills. Now I know this is a small little detail, but the quills, they feel, and you can see like how flimsy they look. And it's the same thing with the quills up on the top of the head here. They feel very rubbery, you know, and I feel like it's kind of the same issue I had with the MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla figure, where the dorsal plates were very rubbery and flimsy. Like, they could have made them a little more, they could have just made them a little more stiff instead of, you know, this, you know. And also the skin detail on this thing, it looks good. Not really good, it looks good. It has this very like Komodo dragon kind of feel to it, but I mean, if you notice, they could have made the scales pop out just a little bit more. Like, itself, the figure looks really good, but it's just, the scales on this thing, they could have made the scale detail, like, pop out just a little bit more, like how the fur is on the, NECA Kong figure. So, yeah, those are my two cons. Like, detailing could have been done just a little more better, and then the quills look way too rubbery. And then also the teeth, the teeth could have been done way better. Instead of like these little human-looking teeth, they could have had them just made a little more pointy. And also the mouth moves. Also, the mouth opens and closes, which is cool. And then also, if you notice, like the head moves, like the head has the head, like the neck moves, and then the neck moves here, and then the head moves separately, which is cool. So all the range of movement and the design of the figure, both of those are its two biggest strengths. It's just the weaknesses are the very rubbery and flimsy looking quills, and how the detail could have been done just a little bit better. And it reminds me of the raptor. It reminds me of the two other raptor figures that I reviewed, the Delta figure and the Lost World Raptor. It very much reminds me. This figure very much reminds me of those two. Just like a lot bigger. Yeah. So design-wise and the range of movement are its two biggest strengths. The weaknesses are, yeah, the flimsy-looking rubbery quills and the fact that the skin detail could have been popped out just a little bit better. So this figure gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Do I recommend you buying this? I do. If you're a diehard Jurassic Park Legacy fan like myself, I would recommend buying this. I'm sorry that this review is short compared to the other two. I apologize for that. So yeah, what do you call? So, okay. So yeah, I would definitely recommend buying this. I found all three figures I found at Target. So definitely go and get all three. You've seen my reviews for them now. They're all amazing. So yeah, it's like almost 9:15 here. I gotta finish getting ready for work here. So when I get home from work, which will be in the afternoon here, I'm gonna now talk about the movies I got, because this is supposed to be a movie haul video, but I couldn't resist getting some cool action figures. You know what I mean? It's just being a nerd. Being a nerd, you get, when you have money that you saved up, you get what you want. You know what I mean? So yeah. So when I get home, like I said, I'll not review each movie, but just like talk about the big stack of movies I got, because I think I got more movies than I did last month. All right. Okay. Welcome to. Just make sure the camera. Okay. Well, hey everybody. Welcome to the next part of the movie haul video. Now, as you can see, I have, talked about how awesome all three of these things are here. Okay, is it me or does Indoraptor look a little flat? Well, you've seen me talk about all three of those. I don't understand why the footage for the unboxing for this just went out. I don't know why. It's the same thing that happened with Tiger Stripe here. It's really weird. I really don't get it. Like, the footage for that unboxing went and now the unboxing for this thing went, like, I hope this doesn't become a trend with that technical difficulty. I'm sorry. I really am sorry about that, everybody. But now that you've seen me do a triple figure talk, which is really awesome. Again, I'm sorry about belching in all my videos. I don't mean to, they just come up. But now to talk about one more thing. Okay, so now let's talk about all the movies that I got. And believe me, I don't know if it's the same amount as last month or probably more, but now you all remember last month when I got the original Teen Titans right there, but now I have gotten another TV series, and the TV series that I got this time is is the first season of Frasier. As you see, got it from Zia's. Now, when it comes to sitcoms, like, I can go for the ones like Friends, Seinfeld, King of Queens. Not really a fan of Everybody Loves Raymond. I can never get into that one. But Frasier, this show, I don't know what it is about this show. This makes me laugh my ass off. Like, my mom and I used to watch it, well, when TV wasn't a bunch of apps up the ass. What do you call? I can't remember what channel it was that we used to watch it on. Oh, and also, look, got the 3 lights replaced. If you guys remember in a couple of my videos, it was very dim in here. Well, 3 of those lights went out, so just put some new lights in. Now it's all nice and bright in here, you know. Let there be light, you know what I mean? What do you call? So, anyways, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I don't know what it is about Frasier, but this show just makes me laugh my ass off. You know what, I so love how, like, you see everyone's face. You see, Niles, Daphne, Frasier, Roz, but the dad, Martin's face is covered up by the price tag. That's hilarious. And the dog. One of the funniest things is always this dog, man. I don't get it. Like, this dog has a serious personality to him. But the thing, I don't know what it is. This is like, I think this honestly is like my #1 sitcom. And the fact that I managed to find it this cheap is amazing. And anybody who, and I keep saying this because because I know there's people in the year 2022 who have not watched this. I would definitely give this a watch. I know it's a sequel to another show called Cheers, which is about Frasier's life in another state before he moved to Seattle, because throughout this whole entire show he talks about his son and his ex-wife a lot. And like I said, I can't remember what other state he was in Cheers, but Cheers is about all that, and this is like a spin-off of Cheers, I guess. But I tried to watch Cheers, but I guess I gotta give Cheers another chance, because I couldn't get into it. I guess I gotta give it another chance, but this is like my #1 sitcom. I can never get enough of this show. I can never get enough of Frasier. Okay, now the next movie that I have in this month's movie haul. Now, we all know director James Cameron, right? We all know the guy. Aliens, Titanic, Avatar 1. The guy knows how to do some really good shit, you know what I mean? And and Terminator. Sorry, I forgot to mention. You know, Terminator movies. I think he did the first. Oh my God! I know he did I know he was involved with Terminator. I think he did the first 2. I think he did the first 2, I believe. I don't want to get blasted in the comments for that, because I am a Terminator fan. I have every single one of them except Dark Fate, but I really do want Dark Fate, though. But, I think it was the first 2 Terminator movies he did. So the guy knows how to make some really badass movies. And the next movie I have is this, The Abyss. I know he made this, but I never see this movie get talked about. But I do know the premise of it. It's one of those like 1980s science fiction movies where they all copy and paste each other. I don't know what it is about the late like 1980s where it's like this trend of an underwater base getting attacked by a monster. Like you have Leviathan, Deep Star 6, and there's like 5 other ones I can't even remember the friggin' name of. But then also you have the 2017 movie. Well, it was made in 2017, but then it came out in 2020 for some damn reason. Called Underwater, which is basically that, except the base gets attacked by friggin' Cthulhu, which is badass. But this is one of those movies, and the monster is not a flesh and blood creature. It's an alien that apparently is like living water. There's not a picture of it on the back, which really does suck. But I've never seen this movie, but when I was a kid, I heard a lot of good stuff about this movie. So and also it's a James Cameron movie. You can't really say no to a James Cameron movie. Like how you can't say no to, you can't say no to Jurassic Park or, Big Guy. You know what I mean? So, it's just one of those movies that piqued my interest. Okay, so now for the third movie we have on this month's movie haul. Now, we all know the Leprechaun movies, right? We all know Leprechaun, Warwick Davis, the short actor who became a horror movie icon with the Leprechaun franchise. And I know a lot of those movies get hated on, but I watched like a whole marathon of them at one point on the Sci-Fi Channel back when my mom and I lived at our other house, back at Atmore. But I love them. I personally love Warwick Davis. Just nails it. Like sorry, I almost belched. Belched again. I apologize. Every movie, the guy just nails it. He just friggin' nails that part. But our next movie is, and I saw this at Walmart. It's a movie at Walmart that I saw in the $5 bin or the $7.50 or the frickin' $3.74 bin. There is so much shit at Walmart, I don't get it. But I saw this. I did not expect to see this at Walmart. Like, deadass. Leprechaun Origins. Now, I thought this movie was made by the Sci-Fi Channel, just like how the Leprechaun movie, Leprechaun Returns, which sadly ignores every other Leprechaun movie but the very first one, which I've never seen, but one of my buddy on Instagram follower Judith Rambo, you all remember I talked about that movie a while back. But this movie here, Leprechaun Origins, I thought that this movie was made by the Sci-Fi Channel because it feels like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie, but if you look on the back, it says a WWE Studios production. Like, hold up here. Hold up. You mean to tell me that the Federation of Wrestling made this? Like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding? As soon as I read the back of this cover, when I picked this up at Walmart, I did not know that this. I so did not even know. My mind's blown. I am so mind blown right now by the fact that this is a WWE movie. Like, really? And I don't even know. Because I remember watching this movie one time on Sci-Fi. I watched it once because it was part of the Leprechaun movie marathon, and I don't even know why it says Origins, because it doesn't even mention the other movies. It doesn't even mention any of the Warwick Davis movies, and the Leprechaun in this movie doesn't even look like the thing that Warwick Davis plays. It's this little demon thing. It actually looks like one of the vampires from Priest, except with more teeth, and it has eyes. It's like, it doesn't even look like a friggin' leprechaun. I don't even know why this movie's called Origins. Like, it has the same font as the Leprechaun movies, but Origins? I don't even know why it's called that, to be honest with you. Like I said, I remember watching it once, and I don't remember a single scene or a single line of dialogue mentioning any of the Warwick Davis movies. So, but being a Leprechaun fan and being a B-movie fan, I picked this movie up. I just didn't think... Walmart? Walmart, of all places. I mean, I know Walmart does occasionally sell Asylum movies and, you know, straight-to-DVD movies, but this, I did not expect this to show up at a Walmart. I did not expect that. And I just so did not expect that at all. Okay, now the next three movies in this month's movie haul, I'm gonna talk about them together because it's the MCU. And now, thanks to Spider-Man: No Way Home, the Tobey Maguire trilogy is part of it. I needed to get Spider-Man's 1 and 3 because I've only had 2 for a while. So thanks to Spider-Man: No Way Home, it's like you got Spider-Man's 1 and 3 here. Now, number 3, okay, I haven't seen number 1 since I was a kid. I used to have this only on VHS, so I've never had this on DVD before. Number 3, I'm sorry, but I don't like this version of Venom. I can't stand it. I'm sorry, like, the head looks great. It's just, the torso and everything else looks way too human. Like, I know there's the Tom Hardy Venom, which actually is more accurate to how Venom acts and how he looks. So this version of Venom, played by Topher Grace of all people, who plays the son in that '70s show. I can't remember the character's name, but it's so I just wow. But the first... Oh crap, I almost dropped it, sorry. But the first Spider-Man, well, before I talk about this, in Spider-Man 3, I like every other villain but Venom. I love Sandman. I love Sandman's character, how he's this very tragic character. I mean, yeah, he's the guy that killed Uncle Ben in this movie, apparently, but it's like, throughout Spider-Man 3, he's played out as this tragic character. You know, he escaped from prison and he wants to see his daughter, and there's a line that he says, and yes, spoilers, that he goes, "I'm not a bad person." I think the line he said, "I'm not a bad person, I just made bad choices." I don't know why, I really like that line from him, and it's just an accident that turns him into Sandman, you know what I mean? And I love the fact that that Sandman showed up in Spider-Man: No Way Home. I just love that. Now I just need to get Amazing Spider-Man 2 because I have the first Amazing Spider-Man in my movie boxes in my closet. So yeah, like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are always like, when it comes to who's the best Spider-Man, I mean, I love all 3 of them equally, and seeing them all together in No Way Home was just movie greatness at its best. Just seeing Spider-Man, just like all 3 actors who played Spider-Man, it's like, oh my god, everyone's childhood just erupted out of... It just felt really good seeing Tobey Maguire play Spider-Man again after 3, which was... Holy crap, I can't even remember, 2007. So seeing Tobey Maguire come back after that long is insane. And then seeing Andrew Garfield come back was really awesome as well. So yeah, there's those 2, and then there's the first Avengers movie from 2012, which takes place after... Oh my god, look at this. You look, Nick Fury, Hulk, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor, half of Iron Man, and fucking Captain America's face is covered. But I'm going through each MCU movie every month here, so because the MCU is so big, why not get the franchise and the debut of like the Avengers when it comes to the main MCU movies before No Way Home. It's actually a super fun movie. Like, you see how all of the main heroes are always like, they're such a smart ass to each other, and then Loki comes back and tries to just wipe Earth out from existence. And of course, like every MCU movie, there's always humor in it. There's a lot of scenes in here that are freaking hilarious. Okay, so now the next two movies that we have, and the reason why that I'm doing some of these movies in groups is because they're all either part of the same, they're all like in the same universe. So that's why like I'm doing movies in groups. So just like how I did the MCU movies here, now the next comic book universe we move on to is the DC universe. Sorry, I had to check the GoPro for a second. We move on to the DC universe, and we start off with the live-action DC universe that includes Man of Steel, Justice League, the 2 Wonder Woman movies, Aquaman, and the 2 Suicide Squad movies. And we start off with Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, in all honesty, the fact that this movie gets hated on like so much, it really does suck. And it's even directed by Zack Snyder, but I guess it's like studio interference is why, and this is one of the movies I got at Family Dollar, actually. And I guess studio interference is what messed this movie up, I guess. But apparently in this movie, there are like so many deleted scenes out of this movie where you can literally have like a 3-hour Snyder cut of Batman vs. Superman, like deadass. But I've always liked this one because I love how it takes the opening of this movie, again, spoilers, takes place after, like, during Man of Steel, during the final battle of Man of Steel. And then, like, I love how, and the thing I love about the live-action DC universe here is that it plays on a lot of, like, the comic book tropes. Like, you have, Superman, when he comes to Earth and he fights somebody, he causes about as much destruction as Godzilla. And then you got Batman who, then you got Batman here who prepares to take him on if he were to go apeshit. So this movie really does play on that. And then Wonder Woman just shows up, or her character Diana anyway, just like, just comes up, and then it's revealed she's, Wonder Woman. And what I just find, and the one thing I do have to agree with when it comes to fans, I do have to agree with this because I've seen this movie a lot. I don't like Lex Luthor in this movie. Played by Mark Zuckerberg of all people. Like, they could have picked anybody else. They could have picked anybody. But they had to pick this guy? Really? Really, Mark Zuckerberg? I'm sorry. It's like, I love his dialogue, but him as Luthor just doesn't fit. I mean, it just does not fit at all. It doesn't freaking fit. I don't get it. Mark Zuckerberg, he just doesn't fit the part. They picked the wrong guy. And also, I remember Doomsday's in this movie. And what's so weird, the live-action Doomsday, he looks like Abomination. He kind of looks like a ripoff, a DC ripoff of Abomination from in The Incredible Hulk 2008. So there's that. And then the other thing, and then also, and it so sucks that none of these other movies actually built up on this. the post-credit scene of this friggin' movie has Deathstroke in it, and the outfit that Deathstroke wears is and I kid you not, down to a T, down to a freaking copy and pasted T, is the outfit from Injustice 1. Now, when I first saw that, my mind was blown, because that's all I knew as Deathstroke. Well, I only knew Deathstroke from Injustice. Well, I didn't know that Slade from friggin' Teen Titans was Deathstroke. I never knew that for my childhood, really. But it just so sucks that they never built up on the Deathstroke thing out of this movie. But I do enjoy this movie. I just don't like Mark Zuckerberg as Lex Luthor, man. He just doesn't fit the part. He does not fit the part. Now, the next DC movie is Justice League: Throne of Atlantis, and this is part of those DC animated movies that it's the new 52 movies is what this is. So I am getting these. Actually, the main purpose was I get the next DC animated movie every month here. So, but then it turned into this and that, and last month, you know what I mean. So, but I know the new 52 is really good, so I'm just collecting all these. I've never seen this. I've never seen this one. So, yeah. So there's that. Look at Kong here. He's just chilling. He's just chilling out. Oh, you got a dinosaur and an alien around him. And why am I zooming in on the ape? Well, because the next 3 movies that I have are about apes. And I think you all know what apes I'm talking about. And no, they're not giant. But this one is instantly recognizable. Hell yeah! Now, the thing about Planet of the Apes, this is the original, for all y'all out there who are science fiction obsessed nuts like myself. The original Planet of the Apes, or just Planet of the Apes all in general, I have seen not all of the original franchise, but I've seen a lot of them, and the original, it is a great movie. The original, yeah, see, the one that started it all. It is a really, really fun, old-time science fiction film. And in the description below here, I am going to link there's a documentary that I found on YouTube. I can't even pronounce the channel's name that I found it, but there's a whole documentary about that literal history of just this movie, how I didn't know it was based on a book. I did not know that this movie was based on a book. You got me on that. I never knew that for like the longest time here. So the documentary goes about how the author, the little bit of the background on the author, to how he wrote the book, to how it became a movie, and all the production issues this movie went through. Like, this movie was in production hell for, like, God knows how long. But it became one of the greatest science fiction movies ever. And then there's the Statue of Liberty ending, which sucks. It's not on the cover here anywhere. But yeah, it's a really great movie for how old it is. This is like 1967 this came out. I always thought it was 68 for some odd reason. I don't know why. But yeah, Planet of the Apes is the original one is really cool, and I do love the franchise as a whole of Planet of the Apes. I really do. I just so enjoy it. Honestly, they're really fun. I get a kick out of any time I see any of the Planet of the Apes movies. I haven't watched them in a long time, but when I was introduced to them, mainly as a teenager, actually, they're really fun movies. And you gotta start with the original here. You gotta start with the original. But at the same time, like all great old-timey movies, they always get remakes. And in comes Planet of the Apes, starring Mark Wahlberg. And what so sucks is that this movie, I've heard it be a mixed bag. I mean, the movie's directed by Tim Burton, like who's just as like right up there as James Cameron. Sorry, I almost burped again. James Cameron and Steven Spielberg. I mean, Tim Burton. I mean, the guy did the Batman. He did Batman back in the '80s, and then there's Nightmare Before Christmas. You know, and I think he was one of the producers on Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So, and the fact that he did the Planet of the Apes remake, it is really cool. But it's just so crazy how this movie is like, it's liked and at the same time disliked. Like, I've always heard this movie be a mixed bag, despite the fact that the makeup effects are done by Rick Baker, who I said earlier when talking about King Kong and Men in Black. So and also 1998's Mighty Joe Young remake. So you have Rick Baker and CGI by Industrial Light and Magic, and then directed by Tim Burton. So I don't know how anybody can dislike this movie. And I've seen this movie like twice growing up. And I remember I watched it a second time when I was like 21, and no, it's nothing like the original hardly at all, but it's more like a reimagining, really, but I really enjoyed it, actually. Like, as much as I love the original Planet of the Apes, I do love the remake more. Like, this one as an icon, this one, I love the effects in this movie a lot more. Effects in here are good for the time period, but, of course, you know, this was 2001, so movie technology has improved. You know what I mean? So, I just find this one a little more entertaining, really, to be honest with you. But this one's a classic through and through. But I do enjoy this one a lot more. But, of course, remakes still persist to this day, even into the 2010s. And then, of course, when it comes to Planet of the Apes, you have this. I have Rise and Dawn. So, and I've waited for this one to get cheap, and you know, $8. I've been waiting to get it lower than $10. And back in 2011, you had Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which is the start of a prequel trilogy to Planet of the Apes here. So, but the prequel trilogy is just, they're some of the best movies I've ever seen. I love it, and I love the fact how you have Caesar played by Andy Serkis in all three movies, and Caesar, all of the apes in the prequel trilogy, they're great movies. Every time I watch even one of them, they're always so, oh my god, there's like Planet of the Apes, there's like this science fiction charm that, you know, the original franchise has, and then you've got this one, then you got the remake. But this here, the prequel trilogy, they're my favorite out of all the franchise of Planet of the Apes, these three, because they're so just, it's hard to put in words how amazing character-wise and effects-wise that these movies are, that the prequel trilogy is. And what I love about the prequel trilogy is that you can easily see how much CG has advanced as it goes along. Like, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the CGI, it came out in 2011, the CGI is really good. But then Dawn comes in, and the CG got better. And then you have War, and the CGI in this movie is better than Dawn. So you see the progression of movie technology throughout this trilogy here, and then you see like how much character the apes have in these movies. You know, as you know, it's Planet of the Apes. And I so love how just this cover alone it looks like a big ass reference to like the original Planet of the Apes here, where the apes rode on horseback and he's using a rifle. I think that's a shotgun, I believe. Yeah, it's a shotgun. But in the original franchise, they rode on horseback and they used rifles, and they used like old-time rifles or whatever. So I think that's like a Easter egg to the original movies. But overall, when it comes to Planet of the Apes movies, yeah, sure, you can watch all of the original films, and then, you can watch this. But definitely watch the prequel trilogy. These should be as iconic as the original here, because they've got nothing but good reviews. Every single one of these movies, I have heard nothing but good reviews of the prequel trilogy here. So, Planet of the Apes, they're always fun movies to watch, and coming from a science fiction fan here, if you're a fan of science fiction, I would definitely recommend getting any of the Planet of the Apes movies, even the ones that people don't like, even the ones that people say suck. But when it comes to the original here, like I said, in the description below, there's going to be a documentary that I found on YouTube that covers the whole history of the very first movie here. I watched it. It's great. It goes very in depth. So yeah, now on to the next movie, shall we? Oh, okay. So every monster and horror movie fan always knows of the classic Universal franchises that went on in the 1930s and the 1940s, and a little bit into the 50s. You had the top dogs. You had the original Mummy, the original Frankenstein, the original Dracula. And the original Wolfman. You had the big four. You had the top dogs in the 1930s and 40s. They dominated the box offices like up the ass. But there's one other monster that was a huge hit and got 2 sequels, which I have not seen them on DVD anywhere. And that monster is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Now, I love how this movie came out in 1954, the same year as Godzilla. But I've never seen this movie. Like, I have never seen this. The Gillman suit looks amazing. And I heard that the monster was played by 2 actors. And what's actually fun fact, for those of you who are fans of Clint Eastwood, one of these movie sequels actually is Clint Eastwood's debut. It was the 3rd movie, The Creature Walks Among Us, and it's the debut of Clint Eastwood, which is crazy. Like, I always so love how, when I talk to my friends, how much they, when I hear how much, like, some of their favorite actors are in, like, either in all these action movies or some shit like that, or all these westerns, and I'm like, they started off in monster movies, right? So I always love mentioning that. But Creature from the Black Lagoon, I've never seen this movie, but I've heard nothing but good reviews about it. And I've seen clips of it on YouTube, so yeah, I can't wait to watch this movie. Whenever I get to it, anyway. Okay, so we are almost done with our with the movie haul, or at least talking about the movies anyway. Now, before I even bring the next 2 movies up, everybody knows how overdone the shark genre is. The Asylum has, and a lot of the straight-to-DVD B-movie companies have taken sharks and they've just escalated the living shit out of them to the point where that one animal, it's like a little kid would go into a zoo and wonder, oh my god, can it fly? And yeah, and you've seen in the part of this video when I was at Zia's, I took Jurassic Shark and I flipped it off because it's a Wild Eye movie, and Yeah, that movie just sucks ass. So yeah. But there is one trilogy of shark movies that have grabbed people's attention, and that movie is Deep Blue Sea. Now, if you all remember, what do you call when I did another movie unboxing a while back where I was sent Deep Blue Sea 3. Well, now I found Deep Blue Seas 1 and 2. Now, number 2, everybody hates. Number 2 is absolutely hated, and that's the problem with when it comes to doing movie trilogies. It's always like the first movie a lot of people like. The second movie is a mixed bag. You either not like it or don't like it, or it gets universally hated. And then the third movie is one that gets liked more than the first one. But I just find it so funny how Deep Blue Sea was a movie that was made in the 90s. Like, I think it came out in, like, 97 or some shit like that. I can't remember when the first movie came out. No, 1999. How the first movie came out in the 90s, and all of a sudden, like, Warner Brothers just dropped Deep Blue Sea 2 and then Deep Blue Sea 3 on the shelves at Walmart here. But, yeah, as you can see, got it at Zia's. So I figure, you know what, I had the third movie, so I may as well get the first two. And I remember I've seen Deep Blue Sea 2 on the Amazon Fire Stick, and then I've seen Deep Blue Sea when I was a kid. And I just remember the only one scene that everybody remembers from the first Deep Blue Sea is the scene of Samuel L. Jackson delivering a really great speech, and then one of the sharks jumps out of the water and grabs him. Like, that's like the only thing that people remember of that movie. And then there's that screenshot there that is used on, like, God knows how many, like, what do you call, I see this picture, like, God knows how many everywhere, all over the internet. Like, that's like an iconic image of this movie. So yeah, when it comes to the shark genre, there's not much I can really say about Deep Blue Sea 2, except, well, Deep Blue Sea all in general is like the only other scene that I do remember out of the first Deep Blue Sea here, other than the Samuel Jackson scene, is there's the scene when they bring one of the sharks up, and the shark, like, wakes up and it, like, rips one of the scientist character's arms off. Like, I thought, for some odd reason, because I was a kid when I first saw this movie, I thought that arm-ripping scene was from another shark movie called Shark Hunter, which was one of those B shark movies that were made in the early 2000s. So, I don't know why I thought I was watching a different shark movie, but then as I grew up, I found out that arm-ripping scene was from Deep Blue Sea 1. So it's like, oh, damn, okay, my brain was thinking of my brain was somewhere else in that moment. So, I mean, would I really recommend getting the Deep Blue Sea movies? I think the Deep Blue Sea movies are, like, the 3 shark movies that are actually liked, you know? I mean, shark movies are very few and far between to watch. Because they don't really change their design up that much, except the Meg, you know, and except, like, the Meg, and then sometimes the Asylum takes sharks, and sometimes they take sharks and they kind of tweak their designs a little bit so they actually look badass. So yeah, would I recommend getting these? If you just want all the Deep Blue Sea movies, I'd just recommend getting them, really. Okay, so the next 2 movies, you guys all know this. I've said this in a lot of my videos. I've defended the living shit out of this company. You all know that I love The Asylum. You know, all the movies that, you all know that I love these guys. You all know that how much I love The Asylum. So, of course, knowing me, I went and got me 2 more. Because The Asylum is their own class of movie. I mean, they've done every genre from drama to comedy, to science fiction, to horror, to western, to action movies. Like, they've dipped their hands in so many genres, it's not even funny. So of course I had to go and get 2 more of their movies. And starting off, we have Three-Headed Shark Attack here. Oh my god, I still love this. In the tradition of Jaws and Deep Blue Sea, it's more like Jaws than Deep Blue Sea, to be honest with you, because this movie does not behave anything like Deep Blue Sea, not in the slightest here. I just don't like the slogan, more heads, more deads. What the hell? That just looks lazy right there. Uncensored and unrated. So is this like the longer version of it, I guess? But what I just find so funny about these movies, that just looks so lazy. I just so love the fact that you got Danny Trejo in this movie, which is so crazy because I knew him as Machete, and then the Asylum gets him. I mean, he's in another zombie movie that I have from the Asylum called Rise of the Zombies. So yeah. What do you call it? It was just so funny. Like, this movie makes a machete reference by Danny Trejo cutting off one of the shark's heads with the machete. So, nice little reference there, I guess. But apparently the multi-headed... Okay, I forgot about this. I love how, like, in the back, behind the 3, there's 2-headed right here. But then they slap the 3 on top of it. But what I just find so interesting is, I heard, like... the multi-headed shark movies are an actual series. Like, they're actually a franchise, but every one of these movies does not mention the other movie. Like, Six-Headed Shark Attack, like, each movie has a different plot, really, to be honest with you. So, I don't understand how they can say that each of the multi-headed shark movies are a franchise, because not one movie mentions the other movie. So that's just really freaky. But the thing is, when it comes to the Asylum, like in the 2010s, the CGI on what do you call the CG? I mean, it's the Asylum, so it's still pretty obvious. But the CGI in this movie, the thing about the Asylum in the 2010s is that their CGI was actually starting to improve. Like in 2007. Well, not 2007, like in the early 2000s, from like 2005 to 2010, their CGI was really obvious. I mean, like digital model obvious. But in the 2010s, from 2010 to sometimes nowadays, they actually started like making their creatures have more skin texturing on them, and they just look a little better. And this movie is one of those movies. So, this is an Asylum movie, and, I'm a fan of the Asylum, so just had to get it. And then the second movie that I got from them is one that I've seen this one, like, one time. And the fact that the Asylum did a Sherlock Holmes movie to cash in on the success of the Robert Downey Jr. movie is pretty hilarious, actually. But I just love how this movie's its own thing. Like, Sherlock Holmes is investigating monster attacks going on in London, and then come to find out, I think it was, what do you call, shit, I can't remember, like, who the villain's character is, but it's like this guy unleashes a T-Rex, a Kraken, and then a mechanical dragon all on London, and it's so crazy. Like, Sherlock Holmes fighting monsters, fighting creatures. Like, I don't know why. Like, that has got to be the weirdest thing Sherlock Holmes has ever been through. But in all perfect honesty, again, the CG in this movie is, I mean, it was in 2010, so the CG was pretty obvious still, but their CG was improving, a little bit. So yeah, I've only seen this movie like one time, so I don't really have anything to say much about this one. So yeah, we got like two more movies to go here, and probably with me waving the camera around, I hope you didn't see, the next 2 movies here, but if you did, well, shit, sorry. I hope not. Okay, so why am I zooming in on Mothra, Monster vs. Mothra here? Well, it relates to the next movie that we have in this month's movie haul. Now, one part of the creature movie genre that there's very little movies in the subgenre is giant bugs. Now, you have a lot of them, a lot of giant bug movies except for one, which I'll that was made in 1954 about giant ants. What do you call? That's like the only one that gets general respect. I got general respect, and then you got the other ones like the Deadly Mantis from 1957, and then you've got giant spider movies like Eight-Legged Freaks, and there's another. Oh, and Tarantula, also from 1957. So the giant bug genre is very. There is a good chunk of movies in that subgenre, but there's not that many. And there's, I guess, like the giant ant genre. Sorry, I guess the giant ant genre has come. Giant ant part of that little bit has come back because it came from the desert, which I have on digital download, but haven't seen it yet. Which is based on a video game which is based on an arcade game, I think from the 80s or 1980s or 1990s. Which the game in itself was a B movie, really. So it's crazy that they made a movie off of it. But there's another monster movie that I heard about, but I have not seen this movie, called Dead Ant. I mean, look at this cover. I mean, you got, oh my god, who's in this movie? I just saw the cover and I'm like, oh shit, well this looks interesting. And look at this right here. It's about look at this, about giant ants. The giant ants, like, it came from beneath the desert, I guess. Spinal Tap meets Tremors. I've never seen Spinal Tap, so I've got no idea what that movie's like to really make a comparison of it. But I love how, I just so love, look at this. They got Jake Busey in here. Jake friggin' Busey. Can I see him? Can I spot him on here? I can't even tell. I think he's the blonde. No, that's not him. That's not Jake Busey. Oh my god, I don't even know if he's on this cover or not, but I've never seen this movie, but you know, it's a B monster movie, so I don't know. I've vaguely heard about this movie, but I saw it at Zia's and I'm like, oh shit, this is here. So yeah, I got nothing much to say about this movie. Although, you know, I've never seen it, so I don't really got much. Okay, so we got one more movie to talk about in this month's movie haul. Now, the thing about creature movies, I think the most popular. Hold on a sec. Itchy nose. Sorry. I think. Okay, I'm good now. I think the most popular subcategory of creature films is the killer crocodile genre, and there's a shitload of these movies. You got Dino Croc vs. Super Gator. You have Crocodile, made by Toby Hooper, may he rest in peace, from I think the year 2000. And then you got the very little known crocodile movie called Blood Surf from 2001, I think. And then you've got Crocodile 2 Death Roll, which I have not seen because I have not been able to find it in good enough HD. I mean, it is for free to watch on YouTube and in English, but it's that garbage pixelated HD, so I didn't really watch it, but I want to though. And then there's another crocodile movie. Crap. There's like a shit. Oh, and then there's Killer Crocodile, which I sadly have not watched. And then there's the Asylum's giant crocodile movie of Super Croc. So there's that. But the two, but there are two Killer Crocodile movies that are like the most famous ones, and I sadly only have one of the first out of these two, and that is Alligator from the year 1980. Now, what's so funny, and this movie stars Robert Forster, and it so sucks he's not on, what do you call, it just so sucks he's not on the cover here but what's so funny is you look at this cover and It looks like a Sci-Fi Channel movie when you look at it. And I've seen this picture. I've seen this cover on Google Images like God knows how many times, and I honest to God did not think that this was the actual cover to this movie. I thought it was like a fan-made cover. Like, there'd be no way I would think that this was the actual cover to this friggin' movie. I love how this movie has two slogans, like, beneath those manholes, a man-eater's waiting. And then you go to the back, it says, he's up from the sewers and nobody is safe. Now, Alligator, actually, this movie is liked. I've heard good reviews about this because, and watching it myself is actually really enjoyable. Like, the alligator itself, effects-wise, is done really well. Like, they actually have a full-size puppet of this creature. I don't know who did the puppet effects in this movie, but the creature effects in this movie are just downright amazing to watch. Like, you have like I was talking about, the full-size puppet, which is really well detailed, very well detailed, and when it's used fairly well, actually, in the shots where they use it for most of this movie, but then there's like a few shots of an actual alligator walking on a miniature set. And what's so crazy is, I love how when it comes to movies made in the 1900s where you can just tell where it's well, except Jurassic Park. Any movie made before Jurassic Park, I should say, where you can just tell where a monster is a puppet and when it's a real animal. Jaws is a good example. Like, you see the full great white puppet that they used, and then you can see like the footage of the real shark. So it's like you can tell what's a puppet and what's a real creature, or what's a real animal. So it's so funny how they did this with this movie. And this is a really good one. I would definitely recommend getting this, in all honesty. Like, Robert Forster is like literally the best character out of this entire movie. And then there's the sequel. Now, I have not seen the sequel on DVD. I haven't seen the sequel yet. Alligator 2: The Mutation. But that movie is usually disliked among creature movie fans, and I don't dislike the movie, but it's the puppet effects in the movie is what I'm really not a fan of. This movie came out in 1980, and then Alligator 2: The Mutation came out in 1991, and the puppet effects in that movie I'm not a fan of, because I don't know, there's like a scene where the alligator attacks a carnival, and it just looks too flat. Like, the head on this thing is too flat, and also you can tell that they just had it on a roller chasing people. So the puppet on land, it looks really, really off, and in the water, the puppet looks great. The puppet looks good in the water, but the movie is so, like, they go so heavy on using footage of a real alligator for literally most of the movie, walking on miniature sets. Now, I ain't got a problem with that, but it just so sucks that they didn't, like, use a green screen on it like they did back in the 1950s, where they had a real animal projected on a green screen to make it look huge. Or they could have just used the same damn puppet from this movie, just modify it a little bit. You know what I mean? So Alligator 2, it's like, I do enjoy the movie, but it's the one scene with the head puppet just looks really off. But the using footage of a real alligator is great, though. But this movie is honestly better than the sequel, really. Hey, so you have seen me talk about all my newest movies here. Then you've seen me talk about all three really cool figures here. So yeah, this now concludes Movie Haul 2022 number 2 here. It was fun getting all these, but you know, of course, this video is going to be, like, really long. Hell, it's probably going to be even longer than the last one, really. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed watching me do this. I know like it's long, but there are hour-and-a-half vlogs on YouTube if you look hard enough. Besides me, so besides mine here. So yeah, this was insane. This is crazy. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I wonder what next month is going to be like. So probably next month I may not be able to do a triple unboxing or triple figure review really, like I did this time. So we'll just have to see how the rest of this month goes. So yeah, please be sure to like, share, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram at lizardman2021. The link to that, and also for those of you who have a DeviantArt, follow or watch me at Dimetrosaur 2022. The links to both of those will be up in the banner, which is up that way. I hope I'm pointing to the right. I hope I'm pointing to the right spot here. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and this is Tim W. Rago, and I'm gonna say peace out, everybody, and I'll see you in whatever video I decide to do next. I'll keep that Jurassic World Dominion countdown going, everybody. 101 days until dinosaurs get to stomp into theaters again. Peace out, everybody.